All right. Sorry about all the wind chimes and the dogs barking in the background and the kids getting out of school and everything. Hey, I live in a neighborhood. What can I tell you? I just received a package from Andrei. He tends to package up a bunch of weird stuff and, trash. And he sends me these, packages that are just full of goofs. And this was a little different, I gotta say. He sent me a bunch of comic books, and he sent me a ton of Bakugan, as well as the original cards for those Bakugan. Which was a really, really fun package to open up. So I just wanted to show you really quickly kind of what came through. He's been finding some really great storage units. He's been finding some really great people who are selling some stuff at the flea market and things. And I've asked him that if he ever comes across Doctor Strange or Ghost Rider or anything like that, that I would love to get those issues. And so this is what he sent. First off, we have a Marvel Comics Doctor Strange with Ghost Rider in it. Pretty cool. I'm not sure about any of the dates on these, but if you look at the pricing, that can kind of tell you that this is probably well after the year 2000. I don't know where this came out, but I'm glad to add it to my collection. Anything of the occult Marvel stuff, I really like that stuff. So another one that I told him that I was kind of picking up on the side is Darkhawk. He was showing me these comics going by the other day, and I was like, oh, that is an extremely niche character in Marvel, and it's really, I gotta tell you, it's not all that interesting. It's a pretty derivative character in a lot of ways, but I'm always interested in the flops as well as the successes. So he sent this out to me. I don't think I have this issue, but I do have several issues of Darkhawk. I've got to go into all of my stuff and get it cataloged somehow. Then he sent this out because we just sort of have a Always Sunny in Philadelphia joke going on. But also, Andrei, did you know that The Nightman is actually a TV series that was on, it was syndicated, and I think it was in the 90s, maybe the mid to late 90s. But it was silly, real silly. So I love that you sent this comic out because I'm actually kind of interested to read it. This is a character you're going to see a lot of in the future, I would imagine. This is one that I believe they're saying that Jason Momoa, the Aquaman guy, is going to be one of the next DC universe film characters that he's going to take on is to become this character Lobo. Again, not really entirely versed in Lobo yet, but thank you very much for sending this out, Andrei, because now this will give me a foot in the door, and of course I'll start picking up issues, I'm sure. Gotta love the, he's knocking into a gorilla who's losing his hat, and he's got a crescent wrench around his neck. I'm kind of interested in what this is. So another one that I'm really looking forward to reading. Also, I told him that I collect the Death and Death's Head comics. These are definitely, came after the turn of the century. I don't know too much about the history or the characters or the artists. I just know that I like it. And there are several of these that are death metal verses. I have one versus Alpha Flight already, and I've got a couple others. So this is kind of cool. Death Metal against Ghost Rider? Question mark. Always a question mark, right? Sent me 2 copies of that, which, again, I'm super happy about. I don't mind having an extra copy or 2, just for trade fodder, or whatever else, that might come along. So again, anything with Ghost Rider these days seems to be pulling in $1 or 2. So if you see this stuff out in the wild, and if you see it for cheap, it's probably a good idea to pick them up, because Ghost Rider is going to return in Deadpool 3, and it will be the Nicolas Cage character of Ghost Rider. I know, everybody's thinking, why? Why are they doing that? Well, probably because it's going to be really funny and extremely campy. So, I don't know. I'm here for it. Moving on, in addition to sending out some amazing issues of Ghost Rider, Andrei also sent out these pin sets. These are collector's covers of different issues, I would imagine. And I don't know, again, too much about them. This is set number 2, apparently. There were others. But some really, really neat covers there. Probably what I will do is I will reseal this. It's in the original shrink wrap, but quite honestly, it's the integrity of it's shot. So what I will do is probably rebag and board this. And one of the interesting things that I did want to kind of talk about really quick is the stewardship of these things. When you get them, sometimes it behooves you and the product that is in this stuff to get out of this plastic. It helps if the material can breathe a little bit but isn't open to the elements. So while that does happen with this, because, you know, it's breathing and it's open to the elements, the other thing is that it makes the product look scuffed and old. These stickers, these old war wounds, you know. So when I took the comic books that Andrei sent out to me, they had been bagged, and a couple of them had been boarded, but the cardboard was old and the Mylar had taken a lot of dirt and dust and stuff and scuffing that it sort of impermeated the plastic, or permeated, excuse me, the plastic. And so when you rebag and reboard this stuff, it actually looks a ton better. And it should not honestly change the value of anything. Nobody is going to want it with this god-awful ragtag plastic on it. I'm not going to hand it around to the grandkids in this dirty, dusty condition. So I'm going to rebag and reboard that. And then there was another set of just buttons. So 6 buttons of Ghost Rider. It does not have, I don't think this has a date on it. And it just has a suggested retail price on it. I will do a Google check, and I'll find out when these things are from. But really kind of cool, and not something you see every day. I'm very thankful to Andrei for sending these 2 sets of pins out. They're just amazing. Thank you very much, dude. Moving along. I'm also kind of in the mode lately of picking up some odd characters from DC as well. I have no idea if these characters have a future with James Gunn, but I kind of feel like the weirder ones we will see. And Firestorm is one of those that they've already kind of covered in Legends of Tomorrow, if you're a watcher of that show. He's a very odd character that came to be right around the time that I was collecting comic books, towards the end of the time where I had not noticed, I had noticed girls, I just hadn't done anything about it yet. So anyway, Firestorm is another one of those characters that I kind of dig. I did not necessarily enjoy the characters on Legends of Tomorrow because partway into the show, they changed actors, and I just never felt like either sets of actors got the chance to really gel into the character, because he's actually part student and part professor. It happens with a melding process, and he becomes the nuclear man. Back in 1984, we were like dealing with 3 Mile Island and all kinds of other weird stuff in our recent rearview mirror. And so characters of this nature were kind of relevant again. Like I said, I've been picking up a few issues because I do kind of really dig the character a lot. And this one I got specifically, this looks like it's very water damaged, honestly. And I got it for a very good price. It was like $1 or something. But because it has Captain Atom in it, which is another character I have no history with whatsoever. Captain Atom was, I think, another one of those characters they were trying to institute in DC in the 80s. And by that time, I had really kind of solidified myself as a Marvel reader, you know. So I was buying DC when it was weird. If I saw, like, you know, Red Tornado or other strange characters on the covers, I would pick them up. But getting back over to Marvel for a minute, another episode or issue of Darkhawk. I loved the cover art on it. God, just jacked my camera angles all around. My nice odd angles and stuff just gone to hell. Anyway, another issue of Darkhawk, like I said. These are characters that are not going to cost you a lot of money if you're out there looking for them. And one that I did spend $4 on, shiver me timbers. One that I did spend $4 on, though, is this issue of Fantastic Four. I'm kind of collecting everything underneath issue 300, anything I can find that I need to fill in different areas of my collection. Anything under issue 300 is what I'm looking for right now. So I couldn't turn my nose up at this. The price was good, and the condition's great. Thank you, Radar Toys. Like I said, whenever you pick up a new issue of something, like I was saying, whenever you pick up a new issue of something, it's kind of like when you buy a new vehicle. And if you haven't bought your first car yet and you're watching this program, here's a little sort of incidental information for you. whenever you buy something of a mechanical nature secondhand, because you don't know how the first owner necessarily ran something, let alone, just enough to say that it did run and etc. You knew the condition when you were buying it. One of the first things that you do with a car or anything with an engine is you go get all of the fluids changed and topped right. Okay? It's a little bit similar when you buy a comic book. Your first your first move, honestly, unless you're buying it from an establishment like Radar Toys, which updates their Mylar and backings and etc. fairly regularly. So, if you don't mind the price tag on them or whatever, you can get away with those bags and boards forever. But when you get older stuff, say out of a garage sale or whatever, and they're in that dusty bin on there for 7 or 8 years, Mylar bags and boards, you need to get it out of there. Make sure that it's not mildewed. And you would be surprised. Depending on where they're coming from, you would be surprised at how many comic books will pick up a mold spore. It is your duty as the curator of that collectible, until such time as you sell it, to keep it in as good a shape as you received it, or better if you can. Another thing about comic book collecting that you may not know is that some things may have torn spines on them. Your instinct as a non-collector would be to put some Scotch tape over it or something like that. Don't. Generally, if you have problems with a cover or whatever else, using anything with an adhesive is a bad idea. Collectors will not like to see that. So just, if it's ripped, leave it. I've got some that have got the coupon for the seed company on the back of the thing are cut out. Some poor kid tried that with his paper route. Back in the day, we used to do that. Hey, back in the day. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time about this comic book thing. I know that when I do these episodes, they are not the most amazing viewed stuff, but thank you for sticking around till the end. I really appreciate it, and we'll get back to other stuff here of a nerdish nature. If you are new to the channel, please remember that we do all sorts of stuff. So if you don't like this episode, maybe try one of the other ones, because they are all different. We try not to repeat finds that happen in the wild. Sometimes footage happens going across pegs. You show something a second time, but honest to gosh, I really do try not to secondarily show anything unless I'm super interested in it and haven't bought it yet. Anyway, thank you very much for coming out here to Monkey Shine Lab, folks. We know there's a lot of people that do content just like this, so it's very valuable to us that you spend a little of your time right here on this channel. Thanks. We'll be back tomorrow. Different topic, promise. So please hit the subscribe button. Thanks a lot. Take care.